morning, everyone. The time is 6:53 a.m. and it is March 27, 2019. It's cold, so I have on my baby girl's smallest blanket, it feels like. No, I don't have on any makeup. I don't have my hair done. My bun was literally like leaning to the side, so I fixed that, but I jumped straight out of bed. So, I feel like I just need to make a video describing what's going on with me, which I know is probably going on with a lot of people, and I know people go through things every day, but I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like I need to tell something. Something needs to be said that maybe somebody needs to hear, or maybe I just need to get it off my chest. I don't know. Okay, so I'm Taneca. I'm 25. I am a mother of one, who is one, or 18 months as of today. But I have a lot going on with me. Being a mom is really hard, and I know I've heard people say that, like, being a parent is hard, being a mom is hard, being a single mom is hard, being a mom with a dad is hard. And so I'm just like, okay. So I prayed and I prayed for my daughter. The situation of how I got my daughter is crazy. But I got her. She is here. She's healthy. She's bad. She talks back. She's one going on 21. But she is my world. I do raise her by myself, but I won't really get into that situation right now because that situation may be getting resolved soon. But yeah, I was diagnosed with Crohn's when I was 12. When I was 12, I was told by the doctors that I was one of the youngest people to be diagnosed with Crohn's, that most people don't get their Crohn's disease symptoms until like in their late 20s, early 30s. I first was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. For the people who don't know what that is, it's like Crohn's, but it's not as bad. And after ulcerative colitis, I was diagnosed with IBS, and I still wasn't getting better. So I got sent to specialists in children's, and they got in, they went to work, they introduced themselves. I loved my doctors. Dr. Rodriguez was amazing. And he went in and he did what he had to do. And I found out, like I said, I had Crohn's when I was 12. Me and my mom was like, okay, well, give me the pill, let's fix this. And they looked at me and my mom now like, there's no fixing this. There's controlling it, but there's no fixing it. So I cried because they were telling me all these things that I would have to go through, and all these things I did go through. And my mom stood there with a straight face, but you could tell it hurt. It hurt everybody when they found out I had something that was uncurable. So I'm just like, so at 12, you don't know, how to explain that to people. You don't know how to tell people why you have to have extra restroom breaks, why a teacher who is strictly no bathroom during my class lets you go to bathroom during the class. You have to explain to people things. You have to basically be embarrassed for a little bit, and then the truth comes out because you can't hold it in anymore. I had people who accepted that I had Crohn's disease. I had people who are like, hey, it is what it is, but you're still you. I had some people who were kind of iffy about it, they're like, either that's nasty. But at the end of the day, I couldn't help it. And, yeah. And then when I was 15, I was told I would never be able to carry a child to full term. So that was something that was scary for me. That was something that I was told, you can't, you can get pregnant. You can get pregnant all day long, but you're not going to carry that kid full term. That kid's never going to be here. So that was scary. And at first I didn't accept it, but then when I turned 21, I got pregnant, didn't know it, found out by having a miscarriage. I was not even a month pregnant, and I lost the baby, and that hurt me really bad. And it was something that I wasn't okay with. I wasn't happy with. I kept it a secret from my family. I kept it a secret from my ex-boyfriend. I kept it a secret from my friends. Nobody knew me. I drove myself to the hospital. I cried by myself. The doctor held me. It was like, there's nothing we can do. And it hurt. And because I knew I wanted a child, I knew I was having pregnancy symptoms, but I was all like, can't have kids. I'm not worried about this. And to find out you were pregnant and you were carrying a child, even if to some people a month is just a fetus, it's still, to me, it's still a baby. It's still a baby. It's something that you create. And, it hurt me really bad. So so that's that. I developed depression in 4th grade when I lost my great-grandmother. I was in therapy all the way up into high school, and then in high school I feel like I was too cool for therapy, so I didn't do it anymore, and I should have. I've been screwed up ever since I stopped going to therapy. I developed a panic attack disorder. Don't talk about my nails. I know they're horrible. I'm mad, but whatever. I developed panic attack disorder a couple of years ago from a job that I had that was very stressful for me, and I refused to quit because I was like, I need money. So there's that situation. Within developing panic attack disorder, I also fell pregnant. So I was pregnant, panic attack disorder, Crohn's, depression, and chronic migraine, and anemic. So there was all of that. My body was under a lot of pressure. I gave out many times at work during my pregnancy. I mean, from falling out, passing out, not having enough oxygen going to my brain, not having enough iron in my body, passing out, people having to catch me, all this good woo-ha. So after my FMLA gave out, and after I completely gave up on my job, and I just completely stopped caring if they were going to let me go or not, they finally were like, she doesn't care, her FMLA is ran out. What's the point in keeping her? And I'm not mad at them about that. I was never mad at them about that. I don't care, because I know at the end of the day, you need employees that are going to work. And I was a worker in the beginning, but I wasn't at the end. I just don't know. I just feel like for me to be 25, I tell people all the time, I have the body of a 65-year-old person. I'm always sick. I'm always hurting. I'm always in pain. I'm always tired. Like, there's so many days that I just want to give out. Like, I just want to 100% give out and not care. And I know I can't be like that. I tried to kill myself in 8th grade. My Spanish teacher, Miss Aliman, asked us to write a paper about ourselves, and she was going to read them, report on them and give them back. Well, I don't know why I felt like I needed to tell this teacher, who I did not like, who I feel like didn't like me. I feel like I needed to tell this teacher what's going on in my life. So I told her about how I felt about myself. I told her how I felt like I was ugly, I was fat, I was here for no reason. Nobody loved me. If I killed myself, nobody would care. Like, I was in a really dark spot for a very long time, and nobody knew, because I was so good at hiding it. People were like, I had a feeling, but you never reached out to me. So I just kind of let it go. I was very twisted, very dark and twisted from middle school to high school to my early 20s. I mean, it was bad. And I was always sick. I was always missing school because I was sick. Like, I just felt like I didn't have anybody. And I knew I had my mom, and I knew I had my grandma, I knew I had my grandpa, but I just felt like I didn't have anybody. I mean, my friends didn't notice me changing. My friends didn't notice my appearance was changing. Like, nobody even knew I was carving on my wrist. Like, I used to have a scar right here from where I used to just carve and carve and carve. Like, I didn't cut, I carved and I carved. Okay, I got rid of this first layer. Okay, I got rid of the second layer. I carved and I carved and I carved and I carved. And I feel like that's the reason why I got my great grandmother's name tattooed on this wrist, because of what I did when I was grieving her. And I'm such a shitty person, I know. And I wanted to blame everybody else for what was wrong with me. Oh, my mom is mean to me. Oh, my dad doesn't care about me. Oh, my brother gets all the attention. Oh, everybody's more happy without me. Nobody invites me anywhere. Nobody cares about me. Like, I was hurt for so long, and it took me a long time to realize I was hurt because I was allowing myself to be hurt. I was allowing myself to think like that. I was allowing my dark thoughts take over everything. And I'm not gonna lie, I still get like that. And you know, I was on antidepressants, and then I got pregnant and I couldn't take them my last trimester. And then I was going to breastfeed, but I was like, no, I need my antidepressants. I'm not on them anymore. And I've been pretty good. I've had certain days where I just shut down, but I still continue to be a mom, and I still continue to fight. My anxiety is really bad. I'm not gonna lie, I know that's nothing to laugh about, but I laugh to hide the pain. But my anxiety is really bad. I don't have panic attacks as much as I used to when I was working at this certain job I had. Which, if you know me, you know what job I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure all of where I live knows what job I was talking about. But yeah, I still have them, but I don't have them as bad. I'm not on medication for them anymore. They come when they come. They go when they go. I pop a Xanax, and I go on about my day in about 2-3 days after I recover. I have been sent to the hospital plenty of times for my panic attacks, but the worst one was the one that almost killed me when I was working at said job. And my mom had to rush me to the hospital because she found me in my bathroom, fully dressed, but sitting on the toilet and leaned over, barely breathing. I don't remember any of this. One of the nurses literally punched me in my chest to make me breathe, which I'm not mad at him about because he knew what he was doing, which I don't mean he actually like bam, like, you know, but he hit me really hard in my chest to make me gasp for air because they told my mom they could barely feel my pulse. They said she has one, but it's very, very faint. I don't remember that. I've cheated death a lot. And not because I caused it upon myself, but because of medical problems like Crohn's have almost killed me a couple times. Panic attacks have almost killed me. Low iron, people were all like, how are you even surviving? Like, I had an iron level of 5. That is not normal, but my body had adjusted. The doctor who helped me get better, a little bit better, he told me, he was all like, a normal person would drop dead if they hit 5. Because 5 is almost like zombie. 5 is not living. So, there was that. I'm like, oh, okay, well, okay, what are we going to do about it? He's like, we're going to put some iron in you. We're going to do it quick. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I can deal with that. And, my pregnancy with my daughter was really hard. Not because of the panic attacks, not because I lost my job when I was like 6 months pregnant, but because it was just hard. My labor was hard. ended up having to be rushed to have an emergency cesarean because my daughter was ready and my body stayed at a 9 for like 4 hours. And they were like, do you want a C-section or you want to wait it out? I was like, no, let's just go ahead and do a C-section. I mean, I felt like a shit mom when I first had my daughter because I couldn't hold her. I could hold her, but I couldn't do what I wanted to. And I feel like all of the responsibility was on my mom and my grandma. And I felt really bad. There was a lot of days I just sat and I cried because I didn't know what else to do. Plus, I'm emotional. Plus, I'm a wimp. I act tough, but I'm really not. No, I'm tough, but I'm not tough like I make myself seem. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But, I mean, it did get better. It got a hell of a lot worse before it got better. So I was doing good for so long. My daughter is a year old. It's like my Crohn's just disappeared out of nowhere. I don't have problems with them, I haven't had a flare up in, I know, at least a year and a half. And it's been amazing. And so I'm like, but something is going to go wrong because it's too good to be true because it's me. So, when I was, so my daughter it's 2019. Okay, so what's going on with me, I've been dealing with for about 2 months. One day I woke up and I was just itchy. So like, little itchy. You know, I got eczema that occurs every now and then, so I'm just like, okay, well maybe it's my eczema, but there was no bumps. But I'm more like, still, maybe it's my eczema, so I'm taking oatmeal baths. I'm using my Vino. I'm using Beautiful, or have you said Beautiful, have you said? You know, I'm like watching what I put on my body. I'm watching what I'm washing my hands with, everything. Nothing's getting better. The itching is getting more and more intense. And it's just like, as the days go by, as the weeks go by, like I'm itching so bad to the point where I can't do anything. Like I can't walk a step without stopping and scratching for like 2 minutes. I couldn't sleep. Like, I would go to sleep and about 3 o'clock in the morning, I was all like, bruh, I'm up. I'm so itchy. But then I started getting like itchy. I started getting fatigued. I started having abdominal pain. I started, you know what, I'm just gonna restart this song instead of waiting for it to go off. I mean, my iTunes decided not to work on the computer, so I gotta use YouTube. Anyways, my eyes were yellow, my face was yellow, like, and y'all are probably like, girl, can't nobody tell your face was yellow. You could tell my face was yellow because my face was like yellow. My eyes were like yellow. You looked at my eyes, you were all like. So I finally gave up and went to the doctor. And I'm like, doc, itching, you know. So he got worried because anything that affects me ends up affecting my Crohn's or affecting my iron. And we finally got my iron to 12, where I'm feeling good every day, where I got energy every day. I'm finally feeling good. And he's all like, no. So he's all like, we're going to check your liver enzymes. We're going to check your iron. Here's some medicine to help with itching. The medicine was crap. Didn't help. He called, they called me Friday, his nurse. She's like, hey, Dr. Carney's a little worried. Your liver enzymes were high. So we scheduled you to go to the hospital next week to get a sonogram, see what's going on. So I'm like, okay. So I go and get a sonogram done. Well, guess what? She's Like, you still got your gallbladder? You know, while she's doing the sonogram, and I'm already freaked out, so she's freaking me out even more by doing that. And it was hurting. Like, it hurt. I was very tender, and her barely pushing hurt. Okay, so then the sonogram came back. Hey, it's not your liver. Your gallbladder's acting up. Something's wrong. Let's see. Here's another test for you. Gotta go do. So I'm like, oh, great. So I had to go get blood. Well, first I had to get blood work done. And then they were just like, okay, now we got another test because your liver enzymes are still high. So I'm going to the doctor on Monday. I'm going to the hospital on Friday. All February. So I go to the doctor. I'm like, yo, these pills aren't working. I'm starting to make myself bleed. Like, I'm starting to get bleeding spots through my skin. He's all like, oh, that's not good. Okay, well, here, I don't want to give you prednisone, but here's prednisone. So he gave me prednisone. He's like, but still continue to take the itching medicine. I'm like, all right, cool. So I go to the go take my test Friday. They put some radioactive dye on me, put me in this big old tube. And, you know, I had to sit there for like an hour. We'll lay there for an hour. So I'm all like, great. So then, you know, she's just all like, we didn't get your gallbladder, which means the dye didn't go through. So we got to do something else. So she did. She's all like, well, he's going to have to work with the pictures that we sent him. Your gallbladder's not really in them. We couldn't really find it. I'm like, well, where'd it go? Like, can it just get up and leave? And so I ended up, so I go to the doctor that Monday. He gives me some more medicine for the itching. Sends me to the hospital on Friday. I go and I had to get an MRI and an MCRP. I don't know if I'm saying that last one right, but yeah, I had to get that too. So they put me back in the machine. She's taking pictures. You know, she's like, you gotta be still, baby. You gotta be still. But my body was itching so bad. And I'm getting nervous. My anxiety was building up. So I just had to sit there and close my eyes. But she finally had it done. She's like, okay, I got some pretty good pictures. We're gonna send them to the doctor. I'm like, all right, cool. Okay, so then I go back to the doctor that Monday. He's all like, how are you feeling? I'm all like, I need some more medicine because I'm itching. He's like, all right. So he sent me in these steroids for diabetics who itch. He sent me those in. They're pretty good. They're not as good as steroids, but they're good. They are steroids, but they're not good as prednisone. And so he sent that, and then he's all like, we are gonna send you to Dr. Takata. We're gonna let Dr. Takata look at you. We're gonna figure this out. He said, because right now my hands are tied. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to tell you. He said, but it is your gallbladder and your liver. I don't know if it's both. I don't know if it's one or the other. So I'm like, all right, cool. So he sent me to Dr. Takata. I go to Dr. Takata that Wednesday. Or it might have been Tuesday. No, it was Tuesday. And Dr. Takata's like, I looked at your stuff. There's definitely an obstruction. There's something blocking your bile duct. He sit there and he's telling me all of this. I'm like, all right, cool. And he's like, how long have you been going through this? You know, I won't tell y'all all of my symptoms because some of my symptoms do get gross. But I was telling him, he was like, yeah, there's definitely something going on right there. He said, especially what gives it away is the jaundice and the TMI stuff, I'm gonna say. I'm like, okay. He said, and the itching. I'm like, okay. Because I thought I was diabetic. I was like, oh, God. I was like, oh, God. You know, but it's not that. So, he's like, we're going to schedule you either for Friday or we're going to schedule you for next Tuesday. And I'm like, all right. I was like, the sooner the better. So they called me that Wednesday. They're like, we're going to do it Friday. I'm like, all right, cool. So I go and I get my first procedure done on Friday. You know, I get put to sleep. And I wake up to one of the recovery nurses saying, I heard they couldn't do it. And the other nurse was all like, no. Like, I'm sitting, like, they can clearly see my eyes are opening. Like, shut your freaking mouths, all right? Talk about it later. And she'd have talked about it while I was asleep. And, like, I don't want to hear it from you. I want to hear it from him or my mom or somebody. So they roll me back. They're all like, they take the stuff off of me. They're all like, hey. They're all like, you know, you gotta stay here for a little bit. You slept through most of the recovering time, so you know, you just have a little bit of time to stay back here. You gotta drink something. We gotta make sure your throat is gonna let you drink it, because he had to go in through my throat with a tube, with a breathing tube, and then with another tube so he could have tried to do the procedure, because he thought I had gallstones. So he was gonna use the balloon catheters. Hey, I used to make those. And he was going to use the balloon catheter to blow them out, however many it was. And then he was going to check my gallbladder to see if my gallbladder needed to be taken out. And if it did, I was going to stay in the hospital and have surgery. And he sent me home, which my family was bamboozled about. And I'm like, okay. He's all like, hey, he's like, I'm going to have to recommend, I'm going to send you to Tyler. He said, because the procedure you need, we don't do here because it's not recommended here. I'm like, okay, cool. So he's like, I'm gonna call you. We're gonna call you Monday and set it and send all your stuff over, and hopefully he can get to you as soon as possible. I'm like, all right, cool. So I ended up having to call them because Dr. Takata just forgot that he needed to call me. So I called. Hello. And so he was just like, so they called me back Tuesday, and they're like, oh, okay, we sent everything over, you know, and it can take this doctor up to a week to get back to you. So I immediately get out the phone. I call my mom, and I'm crying. I'm like, a week? I feel bad. Like, I already feel bad. I'm already feeling like I'm gonna crack. And so I had to have a day to myself. I had to send my daughter to my grandparents, and I just had to sit at home and cry and sleep because I was feeling like crap. Well, the doctor got back to me, today is the 27th. He got back to me last week on the 20th. They called me and they told me, they're like, hey, they're like, can you be here at, on the 26th and, at 12, and we're going to do your procedure. And I'm like, they're like, we're going to do 2 procedures. I'm like, all right, cool. So yesterday was the big day. Yesterday, I got there. I met my doctor. His name is Dr. Seidel. Hope I'm pronouncing his name right, because he's a great doctor. If anybody where he is needs a gastroenterologist, I'll say him. I met him an hour before he did my procedure, and he was great to me afterwards. But anyways, I mean, he's fantastic. And so I was all like, wow. So, you know, I wake up in recovery. They said I was like, where's Olivia? Everybody's like, who's Olivia? One of the nurses said, oh, that's her daughter. And she's asking for her daughter. So they were all like, so then I get back to the recovery, and my mom comes, and I'm like, Mom, and she's all like, late, girl. And then my nurse, I started crying, because I was like, I'm sorry, I was being mean. And she's like, you weren't being mean, what are you talking about? And I was all like, I think I was being mean, I think. And she's all like, stop crying, you weren't being mean. She said, you have been the best patient today. From the time you got here to now, you've been the best patient. And so my procedure went a little bit longer than they thought. So the anesthesia didn't wear off, and I wake up in the middle of my procedure. They had to take it out of my arm and put it in my hand. And I'm like, they moved it. And she's like, yeah, they did. She's like, I'm gonna let you wake up a little bit more, and then we'll explain stuff. I said, okay. So I woke up a little bit more, and I was talking to my mom. Off the wall crap. I remember some of the stuff I said, and I don't remember some of the stuff I said, but I know I asked for cake, and she did not give me cake. And so I got a problem with that. But I just was like, so Dr. Seidel came in. He was like, you remember me? I said, yeah. And I told my mom, I said, Mom, this is Dr. Seidel with the oxygen mask. I'm like, Mom, you Dr. Seidel. And then my mom was talking to him, and he introduced himself. He said she was great, she did wonderful. He said she is blocked, there is an obstruction. He said I don't have information on what the obstruction is. So in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I'm finna have to deal with this again. Because Dr. Takata couldn't figure out what the obstruction was. He couldn't even get in because it was my bile duct is so blocked. But Dr. Seidel thankfully was able to get in. And he told my mom, he said, but, because my mom's face just kind of dropped. And he was like, but, he said, I do have good news. He said, I was able to get off in there enough to where I can get samples of the obstruction. And I was like, oh my God, yes. He said, and also, I was able to put a stent in to help the drainage. He said, and so she should be feeling more of herself within about a day or two. And I was all like, oh my God, yes, yes, yes. Like, thank you. Like, he was like trying to leave, and I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you. But I was all like, yes, thank you. And so there are some things that he's testing that did worry me. But he said the stent is not permanent. He said the stent will have to come out. I can't remember how long I can have it, but I know he said it's gonna have to come out. But I know one thing I did hear was cancer, but he said in somebody as young as me, he does not expect for my test to come back as cancer. He said once everything comes back and everything checks out that it's benign, he said they'll be able to tell what the obstruction is. And then I kind of like dozed off. He was talking to my mom, and that's when I woke up and heard the cancer thing. And he was telling my mom, he's like, I'm not. If she was 60, I'd be like, yeah. He said, but she's not. If she's 25, I hardly doubt that is that. He said, I've never seen anybody her age who's had this problem have cancer. It come back cancer. She said, I'm pretty sure everything's gonna come back benign. And so I was all like, okay. And then he was all like, but if the small chance it is cancer, he said that is major surgery to get it out, to remove as much of the cancer as we can, and everything. But by the grace and strength of God and faith is tiny as a mustard seed. I believe that it is not cancer. I'm not gonna believe that. I don't accept that. It's just a word rolling around in my head, but I don't believe it. But I feel a lot better, and it hasn't even been a full day. Like, I'm still itching a little bit, but I'm not itching like to where the point to where I can't sleep. I'm not asleep because I slept all day, and then I slept all night. And so I've been up since like 3. But that's my fault. But like, I'm saying this because I am 25 and I have been through a lot emotionally, physically, and medically. And it's been hard. I have given up on faith a lot. I've prayed to God a lot. I have cried to God a lot. I have written on Facebook statuses and to my friends that I feel like God does not hear my prayers. My grandma, who's a pastor, is like, He hears you. He does. God blesses us. He answers and gives us blessings when it is time. She said, and right now it's just not your time. And I'm like, well, how long? I mean, this has been going on for over 10 years. What else can I do? And I made some really bad decisions because of the dark hole that I was in, the black cloud that was over my head. I made really bad decisions. I made really bad judgments. I lost a lot of good friends. But if I didn't get them back, I still love them. And we have our reasons we didn't click back. But life is hard, and I am living proof that it does get better. I mean, I don't have a story where it's all like I died and came back. I don't have a story to where like, you know, I don't have a crazy story. I don't have cancer. I mean, I'm not dying of anything. I mean, things that are wrong with me I can't die from, but it's not something that's like just, oh, we gotta pray for this girl. This girl is gonna die. I mean, I am, but when it's time, you know, like I've had to have a sit down with a lot of people and with God, and you know, just remember to keep the faith. And then times get hard, but it does get better. There's always a rainbow at the end of, no, I said that backwards. At the end of the tunnel, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. That's what I'm trying to say. But it gets hard. I mean, I've always wanted to make videos of my life. I used to have a YouTube channel, but I don't know, I chickened out and deleted it. I had like 20 videos and I deleted it. But this is something that I feel like people need to hear. Like, you need to see that yes, you can be young, you can be sick, you can be young and not look sick, but there's something going on in the inside, and people are like, no, you have to see the sickness on the outside. Like, there has to be a disability or a sickness on the outside, and that is not true. There are some people who are walking around here and they are sick as a dog on the inside, but they go to work. They go to work feeling like crap. They go to work and don't even make it through a full day because of people who judge them. Mental illness is real. Crohn's disease, irritable bowel syndrome, ulcerative colitis, diabetes, anything that happens on the inside, it is real. And when people stop and think, instead of judging someone and saying she doesn't come to work because she's lazy, she doesn't come to work because of this, or he doesn't come to work because of that, or he calls in all the time, or the boss just likes him so he gets this and that, that is not true. Sit down and think. Sit down and put yourself in this person's shoes. I mean, just anemia alone will make you feel miserable, especially when you have a job where it's already stressful. You don't have any iron in your body, or you have very little iron in your body. You're forcing yourself to get out of bed. You're forcing yourself to go to work. You're forcing yourself to be a parent. You're forcing yourself to deal with other people's problems and put yours behind you. At some point, you have to stop and think about what this person is going through mentally, what this person is going through medically, what this person is going through on the inside. Like, people are so quick to judge, and you can't judge other people. And I'm not saying that because, oh, I have Crohn's, or I have this, or I have that. I have other family members who have other problems. I have other family members who are sick on the inside, but yet I see them every day get up and they go. They get up and they go. And we tell them, because we love them, sit down. Lay down, get some rest, let this go. And they don't. They keep going and they keep going and they keep going and they keep going and they keep going. And you can't do that. And I have had to learn that. I want to be a great mother. I want to be a great person. I want to be a great friend, a great daughter, a great family member. But I can't if I don't take care of myself. And if I don't take care of myself, who's going to take care of me? I'm not 10 anymore. My mom doesn't have to take care of me if she doesn't want to, because my mom has her own life to live. She got her own bills to pay. I have to take care of myself. I am old enough to know I'm not feeling good. I am old enough to know that I need to call into work because I have worked for 4 days and I've already made 6 hours in overtime. 6 hours that you were going to cut. I need, but you're going to cut it. I need rest. I need to take care of myself. I have people in my family with heart conditions. I have people in my family with diabetes, with blood problems. I have other family members with Crohn's disease. I have family members with IBS. I have a grandmother who made it and beat cancer. I mean, I have family members who have gone through everything just like everybody else. And I look at them and I'm like, how come you can make it and I can't? And it's because they took care of themselves. They are taking care of themselves. Now it's my turn because I have a daughter. I have someone in heaven looking down on me that is my child. I have somebody on earth looking up at me who is my child. At the end of the day, I have to take care of me before I can take care of anybody else. I have to learn to accept help even though I don't want to have it because I want to be independent. I want to take care of everything myself, and I know I can't. But this is me being raw, being uncensored, being who I am. And at the end of the day, I gotta take care of me, baby. I gotta take care of me in order to take care of her. Because my family is not obligated to take care of my daughter. My grandparents have lived their life. My grandparents are living their life. My grandparents have raised their kids. My grandparents have helped raise their grandkids. Olivia is a great-grand. I have to step up. I have to take care of me so I can take care of her. No matter if you look at me and think I'm just a lazy bum. No matter if you look at me and think that because I'm fat, I created all these medical problems with myself. I know a lot of big people who are healthy. The only thing that's wrong with them is that they're big. But people are still going to judge. They're still going to say what they want to say. They're still going to talk about me. They're still going to say things about me. They're still going to call me a bum. They're still going to do this. They're still going to do that. And there's nothing that I can do about it. Except for live my life. Let them talk. Let them whisper. Let them think. And go on about my day. Because I know who I am as a person. I know what I have to do in my life to make sure that my life continues to be great. I want to make it to see my daughter at least graduate. If I can make it to see my daughter graduate high school and go off and live a great life, no matter if she chooses to go to college or not, then I will accept dying. But until then, I want to take care of myself. So I can change her diapers, so I can potty train her, so I can send her off to school, so I can watch her grow, I can watch her develop, I can watch her become who she is, what she already is. But I'm just rambling now. But yeah. Life is hard. Life as a parent is hard. So just lace them shoes up and go. Be the best you can be for your child. No matter if that means you gotta accept government assistance. No matter if you gotta accept help from your mama, your grandparents, whoever. If people are willing to help you, take it. Not because you want to go clubbing, but because you need it. Yeah. That's it. I'm done.